buddy. You mentioned something about research for a story. Frank left.
Remember that name, because the whole world's gonna know it in 3 days.
Woohoo! Jesus hot sauce Christmas cake. What in the actual Hey there, Doodle gang! Doodle here, and oh boy, this is so exciting. The day has finally come. Dead Rising remake. This isn't even an alert, this is like not a surprise, not a haha April Fools, even though it's freaking July. We're gonna get Dead Rising remake, and I thought it would be fun to chat about and do a childhood nostalgic series of things I played or read or watched as a kid. And what more better than to start off with one of the first games I ever played on the PlayStation 3, Dead Rising. And of course, I played Dead Rising 2 on the PS3, one of my first PS3 games, but still like Dead Rising franchise in general. I was pretty big on it as a kid. It was one of those nice childhood memories of me and my brother playing it together, even though I wasn't really good at video games. He would always help me on the hardest things. And it was more of a, normally I would watch him play and I wouldn't play, but hey, I tried my best at Dead Rising 2, even though I couldn't beat it as a kid. I beat it as an adult, and hey, if you never played Dead Rising or any of the games, not Dead Rising 4, do not recommend that one, go pick up Dead Rising. But it probably would be best if you want to play the original, wait for the remaster, or try your take on the original. Even though, unfortunately, I never played the original, I've only watched videos, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, I watched my brother play it, the first game. I never played it. And I've only ever played the second game, third game, and Off the Record. And I will never, ever touch Dead Rising 4. Someone will have to, like, pay me millions of dollars, $100, $50 to just play that game, because I ain't wasting money on it. I'm already broke enough as it is. You know how this economy is these days? It sucks, but...
Fist bump. Seriously, come on.
And of course, I thought it would just be fun talk about this series, and of course acknowledge the remaster. It's not a remake, it's a remaster, which is insane to see it that way, and hopefully it'll be good. And I'm putting faith that it will be, because you know what's funny, since we're talking about childhood nostalgia and things like that, I had no idea Resident Evil, my goodness, Dead Rising 4 existed. And that's crazy. It was back, I believe, had to be 2020, or at least 2021, and out of nowhere, I saw Dead Rising 4, and I'm like, they made another Dead Rising? Because I only knew 1 to 3. And after looking up some videos on it, I watched a no commentary gameplay of the series, and I was unbelievably disappointed. And of course, as a kid, after Dead Rising 3, I never really acknowledged the game after that. Unfortunately, I watched my brother play the third game, and all freaking games at this point, except for Off the Record. I actually experienced Off the Record on my own, even though I knew about the additional psychopaths and whatnot. I never played the game, never watched my brother play it, and all that nonsense. So, after watching Dead Rising 4, it got me back into Dead Rising, and I wanted to play the one that I played first, Dead Rising 2, because that one means a lot to me. Great memories with my brother and friends and all that. It means a lot to me, and it was one of my first games to be, shown off into horror and especially zombies, and hopefully in the future, if I do continue this series, Call of Duty. I would love to talk about that, even though my memories are a little vague. I would like to talk about the maps, the zombies, the fun campaigns that I grew up with as a kid. Of course, the sound of my voice. Female playing Call of Duty. I mean, come on, man. I grew up in a more masculine household, the video games and whatnot, so of course I love these games, even though half the time, me as a kid, I was never good at them. I was never good at the games, but something about my brother helping me or watching him play the game or even play games with him, it meant the world to me. And it created a lot of good memories. And it's, well, thanks to a lot of games like Call of Duty, Little Big Planet, Dead Rising, Last of Us, all those really, really good games. Now, if you come here for a huge analysis, lore dive, and everything in Dead Rising, this is not the place, buddy. There is like an hour-long video you can totally go watch. I am not really good at explaining that kind of stuff, and especially for me rambling and rambling. Unscripted video, by the way. This is fun. It should go to say that this is more of just nostalgic talk, and of course, like I said, it's more of just my perspective and like a little dumb short summary of the franchise, basically. Or just the games I randomly talk about. Sometimes I totally forget to talk about things, and that's okay. That's what the wonders and magics of my videos. And I'm sure everyone's going to enjoy this video when it comes out. Totally, 100% for sure.
Remember that
And if
name
you're
because the
new
whole
around here, you
world's
should
gonna know
totally
it in
like,
3 days.
subscribe to the YouTube channel. I want to try to get to 200 followers by the end of the summer. I know I've been kind of lacking on video making, but trust me, I've been working on other stuff and all that good nonsense. Thank you. I also liked the video. That's totally awesome and great. Question mark. Exclamation point. I don't know. So, what is Dead Rising? Well, in all entirety, the franchise is zombies, mall, occasional open space, and you can use anything to whack the zombies with. Different combo cards, cool outfits, you can even strip them to their underwear if you please. I mean, looking at you, Frank, that dad bod is sexy as hell. And, of course, discovering the truth. Maybe you're trying to uncover the truth with your camera, trying to get a good story going, or maybe you're trying to get justice for yourself because you were framed. Or you were an orphan that kind of was injected with the cure, and like really confusing storyline there with queen hives and consumerism and yeah, consumerism. Very big point in the franchise. That's why it's normally set up in malls. Does Dead Rising 3 even set up at a mall? No, but I mean, it's not a bad game. Still pretty good. I mean, even if it doesn't have a mall, still got Barfin Lady and Big Buff Lady and Kevin. God, I feel so stupid. His name is not Kevin. His name is Dylan. How can I not remember that? But I'm just gonna keep that in. Kevin's a pretty funny name. And actually, Kevin is technically involved in Dead Rising, just as an NPC, a survivor. So, win-lose situation, I guess. Now, you're probably wondering, hey, Doodle, what are the differences between these games? Because they awfully sound alike. Well, my friend, there are different characters, different storylines, sometimes the same locations. We do not talk about the fourth one. But the funny thing is, for each of them, depends, on which would you prefer. There's a lot of different outcomes and storylines and character development, psychopaths, and whatnot you can go through. And in Dead Rising, it's more of the discover the truth, fight the zombies, sandbox challenges. That like hardest achievement mode, like you have to survive like in real life, like in was it in real life 7 days or 3 days or something like that without dying? That sounds a little difficult, and there is that challenge. So hey, there's that for about Dead Rising, and basically Dead Rising was just the beginning of it all. So of course it wasn't really given much. I mean, like honestly, it was given a lot. It was like exactly what it said. And if you do watch the gameplay video, I did have it playing, but in the text, of course, it wasn't like a voiceover or anything. It would say like it was more focused on quantity over quality compared to like Resident Evil was more quality over quantity. And so having a game engine in a game that can hold so many zombies in one place, that was a big amazing thing for gaming at the time. Like having full zombies on your screen, that was freaking amazing. And of course, I thought that was pretty cool. Even though at the time of Dead Rising coming out, I was only 3 years old. Heck, I couldn't even pick up a controller then, and honestly, I don't even know what I was doing at 3. I could have been doing stupid stuff like shoving crayons up my nose. But hey, you never know. I suppose I should honestly ask my past self what I've been doing at 3. But it was the beginning, with the cool combo moves. Like there was a lot of stuff to do, and a lot of interactable items, a lot of very not very not very intelligent survivors to deal with, amazing psychopaths, very memorable and everything, and a story to uncover. And of course, Frank himself. Frank is literally the icon, the main man of the Dead Rising franchise. If you mention Dead Rising, Frank is normally the one you think about. So the man was born, Big Frank the boy. But what about the next games? Dead Rising 2, new character, baby. You got the dad of the year, Chuck Green, and his adorable, very adorable daughter, Kate. That was bitten by her mom back in the last outbreak, the Vegas outbreak. I'm pretty sure, or am I wrong? It's probably one of the outbreaks. But hey, I'm just going off the top of my memory. That's the fun of this. And Chuck is pretty much making ends meet to buy his daughter Zombrex. And oh no, you get TK, the king, and the fabulous girl boss's beloved crushes as a child. Like literally me simping over these two. My god, Amber and Crystal, amazing. Chef kiss, all that matters. Framing Chuck at their, Terror is Reality. Which banger songs, by the way. You should honestly listen to the Terror is Reality theme song. It is so good. I'm pretty sure it's Leon's theme song. Amazing. Absolutely amazing and gorgeous. And I'm hoping it's Leon's name. Green guy who says a lot of inappropriate things to Chuck. But anyway, I mean, probably secret crush there. But anyway, and then you have to uncover the truth of who framed you and what the heck in the world. And plus, of course, you meet new friends along the way. And Papa Bear Sullivan, another crush as a kid. Ah, Papa Bear. But anyway, and the new things added for this game: combo cards, new weapons and whatnot. Of course, new weapons with combo cards and different interactable items, casino vibes, just bam, bam, bam. New stuff, more zombies on the screen, cosmetics, all that good nonsense. And can you guess what? There is a better game. A better game than Dead Rising 2. You can't guess what that is? Dead Rising 4, baby! The greatest Dead Rising game known to man. And of course, the Frank's Big Package. Ooh, yeah! I wish I was being for real, but y'all know I'm not being for real. Off the record, baby! Holy cow! If you wanted a better and more, I guess, optimized version of Dead Rising 2, play Off the Record. And I feel bad. Off the Record is personally a favorite of mine. The boy, the man's Big Frank boy, he comes back. And you have new stuff. You fight the same people. Like, even though it's the same storyline, there was a lot of different changes and whatnot. So, basically, take Dead Rising 2, add Frank in there. It is a non canon event in the Dead Rising series, but it still is such an amazing game. And I'm not even like adding on to the side games and whatnot. I'm pretty sure it was like Code Zero was like an Xbox exclusive, which kind of sucks. I want to play it. I actually might if I like can go look real quick, because I know I got like Xbox downloaded on here on my monitor, but I have to go look. I don't even know if they like put it on digital or anything anymore. Like literally, I would love to get a copy. I'm pretty sure there's like physical copies of those. I gotta look, because literally the only like physical stuff I have in Dead Rising is the Wii version, which I should have mentioned that as the best game. Like, was it Chop Chill You Drop or whatever? I still haven't played it yet, but I heard it's just a reskin of Resident Evil 4, which I so want to fucking play, but I gotta get Wii controllers, so we're kind of stuck on that shit. But instead of me rambling off to the distance, sidetracked, off the record, holy cow, there's a new area, a new story, technically new story, with new villains and all that good freaking nonsense. Like even the combo cards, new weapons, and just the game plays definitely better than the second one. And if you're like me, who can't even get their PS3 to work, you have to play the remastered versions on the modern consoles. And I had such a hard time playing Dead Rising 2 on my console. It kept continuously crashing and bugging out. Even though I had some bugs playing during off the record, it was so much better than playing Dead Rising 2, just for bugs' sake and crashing sake. I think for off the record, it probably only crashed once, and that's saying something for the time I played Dead Rising 2. I literally stopped playing it for like a year till I got back to it. Like I think it was like last year when I finally finished it all, when it stopped fucking crashing. But off the record, you have Uranus Zone. Haha, butt joke. I'm not talking about your butt. I'm talking about the planet. Freaking. Even though you can't even ride them, I still want to ride the rides. You can kill zombies with them. You can play the carny games, but probably my favorite thing was giving Frank those pink go-go boots. Like anytime, like literally the whole time I was playing Frank, I normally had him in high heels and like a flower crown or whatever, and then like whatever I found around for outfits. I always kept that flower crown on because it just fit him very well. Also, very cool fact, very silly. There's actually a cross dresser achievement. So I support you, Frank. Drag queen all you want, babe. That is so awesome. And yeah, Off the Record is basically just a better version of Dead Rising 2. And honestly, I would probably prefer that over the second game. But of course, the second game has a very close connection to me as a kid. But after all the suffering and frustration I went through for replaying everything, I have to say Off the Record was the better of the two. And of course, you have your side stuff from Dead Rising 2, like the prologue, pretty sure demo? Is it a demo? Of you playing Chuck for the first time and then like trying to find some Zombrex for Katie, even though like second game all nonsense. But it was pretty much like a pre-owned demo. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Then you have like Code Veronica and whatnot with Chuck and Frank teaming up. Also, cool thing, multiplayer was introduced in Dead Rising 2, and plus it was on Off the Record. And but like funny thing is, in Dead Rising 2, if you played multiplayer, you would have two Chucks. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I remember when playing with my brother. And in Off the Record, you get to play as Chuck as player 2, which I thought that was pretty cool. So there is also that. Yeah. And not to mention, for also Off the Record, your new bosses and whatnot. You had freaking what's her name? Part of Cure. She's kind of forgettable for me. But you know who I'm talking about, Cure Lady, who was also a boss in Off the Record. Very awesome boss fight, even though it took me like a good hot second to beat it. Also, by the way, I know I'm like adding stuff, but it's like nostalgia talk, to talk about my experiences and everything when playing these games. Dead Rising 2 was like baby mode, as Off the Record was much more harder. I am not even kidding. Again, I'm not really good at games. Even though I've been playing so much for so many years. I felt like Dead Rising 2 was such a nice breeze for like beginner stuff. And then when you play Off the Record, shit spikes up if you're not getting levels and if you're not saving people. Playing Off the Record, I couldn't even like beat half the bosses. It took me forever just to beat Antoine. Okay? On Off the Record. That is embarrassing. But hey, I beat the game even though I missed some psychos. I didn't even play freaking what's his name? Rollerblade guy whose toy girlfriend got killed. Oh my god. Nostalgia talk is so great because, you can't remember half the stuff. Slappy. I didn't even beat Slappy because I wasn't even trying. I wasn't even going to attempt that shit. But of course, I had fun regardless playing it. It was more of a challenge and trying to get through all that nonsense. But hey. And also, the other additional psycho, almost forgot to mention, was the little ice cream guy. The clown from Dead Rising 2's little brother, or like, uh, I don't remember. Was it the brother? It was his brother, yeah. And he was this short clown who did freeze ray stuff and whatnot. I thought, honestly, has to be one of the best Dead Rising killers. This is Dead by Daylight, guys. Of course, Dead by Daylight channel. One of the best psychopaths because of the additional stuff put into him. Because normally with other bosses, it's just throwing items or, just charging at you and hitting you or having a gun or something like that. But with this guy, Ice Cream Boy, he always had different stuff. He had projectile frozen nonsense, which could freeze Frank, and there wasn't really, like, thinking now, I don't think there was really any psychopaths that had that much to it at the time. I could be wrong with Dead Rising 3, because Dead Rising 3 is probably the one I just don't really remember much of, besides, Dead Rising 2 off the record, and 1, and of course Dead Rising 4. We don't, that game doesn't even have like psychopaths. It has maniacs. Like, how do you how do you explain that? It just, it's a whole pile of worms to get to. I know I'll never make a video discussing about it because I never played it, but hey, it's like, what the fuck. But of course, with that psychopath, it was a lot added to it, and plus it had two stages, which no psychopath has ever had that, as far as I'm aware of. They just never had a second phase. You have Big Boy on his stilts, and then when you get him to half health, he falls off, and he's this little rugrat running around and will get on you and punch you. Like, that is cool as hell, and I'm so happy off the record, like, they did different stuff, even though it was a reskin, a retelling of the mainline story of Dead Rising 2. I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, honestly, I don't care what people say. I think that's actually pretty cool for a psychopath, especially having two phases. That's insane. And of course, I'm pretty sure the robot had like whatever her name is, Kier Lady's robot. Definitely, like, I don't know, had like 3 stages, I think, but like, that's the main final boss. That's kind of expected. But like, overall story mode, that was honestly cool as hell. I know I probably missed some key details about the two games, but I thought I rambled enough about them so we can continue to the next one and final game of the series. We don't mention the fourth one. Again, gonna keep saying that, but four? There's a fourth game? What? I would consider the remaster the fourth game. So, Dead Rising 3 is probably the most vague memories I've had as a kid. I don't even know when this game came out. If I don't know if I look, I'm probably gonna look. This is more of nostalgia talk, so we're not really going to look. I'm just gonna go based off memory and honestly videos I've watched in the past. Y'all ever watch just the psychopath boss fight long hour videos? Just watch them all, like, same. And I know I didn't mention really a lot about the psychopaths, and I'm just honestly gonna talk about it now. The psychopaths are really great about the games. They're a nice side quest, a great challenge, something to go through, and it's survivors who lost it during the outbreak, and I think that's really clever and really cool. Maniacs? What the heck are maniacs? All I know are psychopaths. What the hell are maniacs? But Dead Rising has a whole bunch of variety. You have clowns, insane sheriffs, sexualization of cop sexualizing women. The first, I don't know. uh, People traumatized. Wow, that is so hard to explain. You even have for like Dead Rising 3 going through what the seven sins or whatnot, lust, greedy, sloth, fuck. Even I forget them, but like, gluttony's another one. Uh, pride? It's not pride. I don't think it's pride. But you know what I'm talking about. You had a lot of very iconic psychopaths in that game. Even though Dead Rising 3 did have a very rough, rocky start. I remember this nonsense about it, like, especially being ported on PC, I believe. Not really great. It was like, what was this, like on 32 frames and you couldn't like do anything about it? Yeah, not good. We have a new protagonist, Nick Ramos. Probably said that wrong. I'm so sorry, Nick. I love you very much. I honestly don't remember myself playing this game. I just remember my brother playing it. Unless I don't remember there being multiplayer. There's multiplayer in a game, right? I'm pretty sure at this point it would have. I don't think I played multiplayer with my brother, but I definitely remember him playing it, and I Loved it a lot. I remember we would, I remember we would laugh at the gluttony lady. We had such a fun time giggling about barfing women across the screen. And of course, the story is a little bit different in the location and whatnot in that matter. You're not in the mall anymore. It's just this is the introduction to world map. You get to actually drive vehicles, also combo vehicles. That is also a new thing for the game. Combo vehicles and a new map to explore. And I thought that was pretty awesome at the time as a child, even though I thought the mall stuff was pretty cool. So you're playing as Nick, who him and his friends are trying to. If I remember right, y'all can like yell at me if I'm not talking about this right, because this is nostalgia talk. Of course, we talk about shit out of my ass, but trying to escape the city. But oh no, Nick got bit, but he never turns. His wound heals. So he discovers the truth about himself, about being one of the orphans. I'm pretty sure, like one of the trigger orphans that would, turn into a zombie or whatnot when given time. But of course, that doesn't happen. He is the cure. His blood is the cure. And of course, I did not mention Carlito, which was basically the cause of the first infection. And Carlito did a orphanage thing where he put, the cure and like infection blots to the bloodlines and whatnot of the orphans. And Nick was one of them. And of course, now he's trying to escape with his friends. And then, who is this mysterious girl named Annie? Oh, well, it's Katie. And oh my god, Chuck comes back. What? Even more of a dad as ever. He has a cool ass like mullet. Like, what? Amazing. Oh, you know what? Just thinking about it. I never mentioned one of the coolest things in Dead Rising off the record. You get to fight Chuck as a psychopath. I'm sorry that I didn't mention this. I know everyone's quivering in their seats going, when will Doodle mention this? But that was one of the coolest dang things and off the record as well. Getting to fight Chuck. In this alternative Chuck, he lost Katie. He has a doll of Katie, and he seemed pretty friendly at first till Frank, ya dumbass, you messed with the doll, and now Chuck's mad as hell. He looks rugged, he is drunk, he has one of his bikes. It's instead of Leon, like one of the first, like literally so surprising that one of the first psychopaths you face is Chuck. And I thought that was an amazing thing. Also, by the way, Chuck still works like Leon. I swear to God, if I'm saying his name wrong and I have to go back going, hey, it's not Leon, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna totally assume it's Leon. If it's not, then pretend Leon Kennedy's on the motorcycle and he's making sexual jokes at Chuck. But anyway, you could still bug Chuck. Even though some stuff was fixed, you could still get him caught in the railings. And I did come across a few bugs while facing Chuck. I literally got launched into the air like freaking millions of feet up in the air. It was so fucking funny. And I know I've gotten Chuck stuck a few times. But hey, that's also a good mention. I almost forgot to mention that. Thank you, me, for remembering this stuff. Nostalgia talk, baby. We love it here. So basically, you're just playing Nick and going through the seven deadly sins, and Dylan, the lust man, with with his pee flamethrower. I fucking love that. And they're trying to build a plane, get out of there, and I honestly cannot remember the end of the game. You have to fight like the governor or something. Plus, what's her name's back? Carlito's sister, as well, is there. But I mean, she kind of like, did she betray people? I don't even remember. This is why this is why I shouldn't be talking about the Resident 3 because I don't remember squat half the time. But hey, you had, the cool psychopaths, sloth guy who literally died of a heart attack, I believe, that farted. That was, I guess, funny. And you had greedy guy. I'm pretty sure it was greedy guy the one with like his wife cheated on him with the car salesman or whatever. I can't remember, but you had that guy like one of the first bosses. Then you had strong woman. I don't remember her trait, but she was strong. And Nick, come on, man. That's a woman. How dare you? And then you had, of course, Dylan. And then government big booby woman who was very obsessed with her boobies. Doctor guy. Was Doctor guy the greedy dude? I remember now. Doctor dude who tried to, like, he was injecting people with shit. Honestly, That was a really cool mechanic in the game. I totally forgot about that till now. Such an amazing guy. Like literally cool. It was such a cool fight. Like the hallucination stuff, Swedish shitballs. That was pretty cool. And then of course you had Dylan with the flamethrower and sexual intentions and whatnot. I mean, hi Dylan, we see you out there. That's kind of sad. I don't remember any other psychopaths, but oh yeah, Gluttony Lady. Yeah, Gluttony Lady, which I thought honestly sad but funny at the same time. There's that. Don't touch your food, y'all. Terrible, terrible. And oh yeah, Diego. Diego was, I don't know if he was part of the whole Seven Sins thing, but Diego was part of there. You get to fight him when he's all like mad crazy. Um, Diego was part of the thing, right? He was part of the orphanage thing, if I remember right. They like grew up together. If I'm right, it's, correct me if I'm wrong. I assume, you know, it is whatever. Yeah, so basically fighting government people, and then like that one guy that betrayed you, that was like Annie's friend or whatever, and then bam, Annie and Chuck, well, Katie, you know, Katie and Chuck, and all that goodness nonsense. Dead Rising 3, even though it didn't really live up to my expectations, honestly, I should replay it. I do miss it. No, it was still a great game and had a lot of good psychopaths and storyline. I know they did like additional DLC, like you get to play like the NPCs in the game, but I never really played it. And I heard it was okay. Wasn't really anything exciting. But Nick, honestly, even though he's the most like forgettable character, unfortunately, in the franchise, I still think he's a sweetheart and a very lovable, wholesome guy, even though, unfortunately, he gets overshadowed by Chuck and Frank. Like, literally, if you thought about Dead Rising, who are the characters you think of? You think of Frank, you think of Chuck, or you think of one of the cool psychopaths, and you really don't think of Nick. So, Nick, just letting you know, I'm thinking about you, buddy. Be safe. Love you. All that good nonsense, sweet boy. What I would say. Oh, hey, while I'm still on the topic of Dead Rising 3, I just remembered another thing. That wannabe Nick guy, the short, tubby dude who wanted to, like, do his own save, that was also one as well. I think I got them all, as far as I'm remembering. Because, like, the only, like, additional ones that, like, people probably won't remember was the Betrayer guy, it was Katie's friend, and then wannabe dude, and the government bosses and whatnot. I mean, who wouldn't forget about big bagooey lady? Like, oh, big chungus mongus. I should really stop with the boob jokes. I am so sorry, but yeah, I think that's all that I basically. I'm sorry. I could talk about Dead Rising 4, but I don't know if you want to hear me say, oh, it was a big disappointment. Oh, this and that. I could like go on like small details like, oh, you're back as Frank. Oh, you're back at Willamette. Voice actor replaced. Frank doesn't look like Frank. He looks like more of a DILF. I'm not even gonna call him Frank anymore. I'm gonna call him Hank. Hank East or Hank West. Is it Hank West or Hank East? I think Hank West maybe. Hank West. Government shut him down. Vic, whoever the hell she is. Mentor. She's mentored by Frank. Hank. Maniacs or a thing. You could oh, also with Nick, remove the side, Hank. With combo cards and whatnot, you didn't need a workbench. You could have just built stuff with Nick on the spot if you had it. And they did the same thing in Dead Rising 4 with Hank. So uh yeah, shady people, exosuits, advanced warfare exosuits. Oh my god. Smart zombies. Oh my god. Safe houses. Shitty plot lines. Uh, dad jokes. Um, the Frank zombie DLC. I don't even know anything else. Wasn't there like additional DLC pack where you played golf with the exosuits? I think the only cool thing out of Dead Rising 4 was the exosuits. I kid you not. I thought the exosuits were pretty cool, but that's honestly it. Christmas. It was Christmas. Oh, the opening scene of Dead Rising 4 was probably the greatest thing out of the game, and that was about it. Uh, yeah, that is very sad how literally like a minute 30 like explanation of that game. Do I recommend it? No. Do I recommend you playing something else like Minecraft? Yeah, you should definitely go play Minecraft. Or you could play Dead Rising 2 or Off the Record. That's just me. But sure, you know what? You know what? Dead Rising 4 was a great disappointment. There was no love put into it. I don't care. You literally, if I remember right, none of the producers, anything like the mainline guys, never worked on a Dead Rising game, and like they even bring back the original voice actor. Now for the remaster, I really wish they could have brought back the original voice actor, but I'm gonna be lenient. Gonna be lenient. It sounds way more better than. I'm not saying that the Dead Rising 4 voice actor was trash. I'm just saying he wasn't fit for that role. Hank, like sure, like compare Hank and Frank. Hank, sure, sure, but that's not Frank. That's not my Frank. Hashtag that's not my Frank. Hashtag that's not my Roderick. But of course, you know, still a little disappointed, even though the remaster isn't. That's a remake. The remaster isn't going to get it, but I'm just being hopeful because it looks good and there's going to be new content in the game and whatnot. So I'm gonna be pre-ordering that shit. But the unfortunate thing about Dead Rising 4, it was so obsolete. Yeah, the right word, so obsolete. So like buried deep that I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know it even existed till 2021. That is the sad part about it. And there is nothing memorable or good about that game. Probably only the opening scene with the animation and whatnot. That is legitimately it. It's not even Frank. I don't understand what they were doing. I don't know if they were trying to captive a new audience, but then you forgot the OGs and the people who adored the game as it was, not as it is now. So hopefully, by the remaster coming out, it gives a chance for people to experience the game that it actually is. And it gives love to the franchise that should have been taken care of by the fourth game. Even though unfortunately Vancouver shut down and the franchise has been dead since till now. But the game didn't come out, like, Dead Rising 4 didn't come out till, like, 2017, so it's been years. And this is a great relief, a great breather. So hopefully, the remaster will not be shit. Just putting it out there. And it's better than ever. And hey, maybe if this, if the remaster gets good props, makes good monies, gets good reviews, there could be a chance that Dead Rising 2 could get a remaster, and Off the Record could get a remaster. And that's what I'm hoping, because I would love to play the game that started it all for me. Started it all for the PlayStation for me, and all that, and that matter. But you only have to wait till the future, in probably another couple of fucking years. But I'm totally fine with that. And, that was nostalgia talk for you. And I even mentioned, my brother and me playing, and all that good stuff. It was a lot of fun. And, I hope this video kind of brings back a lot of good memories for you. I know I'm not like the great explainer. I try to be, funny, whatever. And just nostalgia talk is supposed to be just me rambling and giving you, hey, this is what happened, and this is what I remember, this is good memories, and all that good stuff. And I really hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun just sitting here talking, no scripts, just talking between me and you about something that means a whole lot to me as a kid. And I know when I have time, of course, I'm starting to get back into making normal videos. I want to talk about more. I hope next video, hoping to God, I will talk about Living Planet or talk about Black Ops 2 and 3, mix of those two. Because I would love to talk about Transit and like Mom of the Dead and all that good stuff. I mean, as someone who grew up with a lot of Call of Duty as a kid, especially the original Call of Duty Zombies, like, oh my god, that was the honest, like, even besides even though I said like was one of my first. Dead Rising 2 and Call of Duty were like both of the first introductions for me to zombies and stuff. I played a lot with my brother as a kid, and I would love to just step in back into that and talk about it. And hopefully, with Black Ops 6 coming out, hopefully a chance for some remastered stuff. I know it's supposed to be something like close to BO2, but I don't know. It depends, because I'm really disappointed that the Zombie Chronicles didn't give us a remastered version of Mob of the Dead. I know we have BO4's Blood of the Dead. I'm pretty sure it's BO4. But that it doesn't really captivate the nostalgia. I played it a little bit because it's literally the only Black Ops game I own. Except for like Advanced Warfare and stuff like that. Because for like Advanced Warfare, that's for like PlayStation 3. Like I literally still have my original copy of Black Ops 1 and all that. So yeah, or yeah. Um, so yeah, I think yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in on this video, and if you listened till the very end of me just having fun and explaining all this good stuff, greatly appreciate it. If you want to share some memories that you've had playing the franchise, or something just silly or whatnot, or just, I don't know, say you like the video or whatever, I don't know. Helps with engagement and helps with the channel. I'm trying my best to keep it up to date, and all that stuff is just work and all that good stuff. So subscribe, like if you want. That's totally optional. It's free to do. And if you enjoy this series, it would honestly gotta like it if you enjoy the series. So stay tuned for the next one. I'm looking forward to rambling on about my nostalgic stuff of the game and whatnot. Yeah, thank you. I hope you all have a fantastic day in the fog, and I will see you in the next trial whenever that will be. I'm so excited for this remaster, like unbelievably so hyped for it, and I will so be playing it if I can on this channel. So look forward to that. Thank you guys so much for everything. You all mean the world to me, and yeah. See you next one. Bye bye!